Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Mark Schmidt, if you can hear me right now, I'm live on the air right now. And here we are. And you know why? I didn't do music, Mike. I didn't do music. I didn't do the opportunity music because I am so sick of paying for copyright stuff and not getting it. We are not going there. That was my intro right there. What'd you think about that? Christopher Walken says, hey, what's going on? My name's Christopher Walken, and this is the Lions Villain Report. It's 10 a.m. It's time to do the lock picks of the week. So you need to get out there and get your pens and get ready to pick some of these games with Main Event Mike. Main Event Mike, how are you doing? Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Copyright that.
It's your opportunity. Good morning, Russ. Good morning, Villains. Ready to do this Pick'em Thursday with or without former NFL wide receiver Mark Schmidt on the show.
Let's see if I hope that he can hear me, and I'm going to send him the link again. Let's see. Maybe I need to send it somewhere else. I don't know.
Well, he picked against the Buffalo Bills last week. He's probably at Starbucks complaining about the spit in his coffee.
So I'll send him that link again. I don't know. I mean, it's the same link I just sent you right there. But hopefully you can make it on. If not, we may see you next week on that. But I know that you got to get out of here early, so I guess we got to get right to this, right? But let me get the Bill stuff out of the way right there. We're broadcasting live into our Facebook page right there at Lions Villain Squad, and we have over 53,000 people. We're approaching 54,000. Hopefully we can get there before the end of the weekend. We are in our YouTube page right there. And I want you to be able to go into the comments afterwards after you subscribe to it and say, hey, I took care of that thing for you. And then we'll say thank you for subscribing to the YouTube channel. We're also going live right now in the Detroit Lions News Podcast. It was cool to get on the show last night with Sports Illustrated's John Macaroon, chop it up with him a little bit last night, and Joe Chapp was on there too. That was a lot of fun. And paying the bills right here, we're brought to you by NFL Shop right there. Get that slick Jahmyr Gibbs jersey by using that QR code right there that take you right there and get you 25% off of that right there. And we have a brand new use for our stars, which goes to my wife's page right here. She's an advocate for autism awareness right there. You can use her QR code, go right in there. And the Facebook star purpose, we finally have a purpose for our Facebook stars. If you give to our Facebook stars, we're going to support my wife's page, sharing resources for parents with children with autism. So there we go. Now we have use for all the crap that Facebook does for us, and all the resources we have. And now we can get into the picks.
You ready, buddy?
I am ready. Boom.
All right. Before we jump into the picks, we review last week's picks. Russell Wayne picked 8 out of 15. Main event Mike picked 6 out of 15, and Mark Schmidt picked 6 out of 15. Mark Schmidt and Mike were 0-0. Both lost our lock picks last week, while Russell Wayne hit his lock pick on a late minute change to the Atlanta Falcons at the end of the program, and he nailed that. So Russ 1-1 on the lock picks. I'm 0-2. I'm a mere mortal. The Swami here, he is 1-1 on his lock pick. So let's get started. First game on the slate is the Thursday night game tonight. It is the New England Patriots, who are 1-1, coming off a big win, are playing at the Jets, who are also 1-1, and the Jets are favored by 6 points. I think the Jets are trying to get right. Last week against Tennessee might have been a get right game for them. I'm going to go ahead and take the Jets and lay the 6.
Ooh, the Jets and lay the 6. See, there's where they get you, is on those points right there. And that's the most difficult thing in gambling, guys, right there, is giving up the points right there. And yeah, I do think the Jets are going to get this thing right. I don't think that New England is very good. And so I'm going to go ahead and take the Jets as well.
Awesome. And then the first game on the slate for Sunday, put it in the comments too, by the way. Follow along with us here like Henry just did. He says Jets also. So we definitely want to hear your picks. Sometimes you can sway our decision with a good point or talking point. Sunday's docket. Sunday, Denver at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay, one of the 9 2-0 teams in the NFL. And Tampa Bay is -6.5. I do think Tampa wins the game, but I'm going to go ahead and take Denver. I know it sounds ridiculous, but Tampa at 3-0, if they're going to get there, they're not going to blow out that third team. I think I'm going to take Tampa. I'm going to take Denver and get the 6.5 points.
Okay, so who's the home team in this one?
Tampa is at home, and they're laying 6.5. That half point scares me. I think they win this game 20-14.
Yeah, and those Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you know, they're crafty and but they are missing some of their best guys. I think that they came out on a high last week, and I'm going to go ahead and take Denver.
Wow,
in the points too.
Wow, both of us expecting a letdown by the Buccaneers against the lowly Broncos.
Well, here the thing that the reason I say that is. It's because, you know, these first 2 teams that we played, we beat in the playoffs last year. So it's like they had this like maybe a surge of adrenaline, and teams come back down to earth. You know, I mean, the Rams gave it to us in that first game, and then they go out to Arizona and lay an egg like that. The adrenaline wore off. I think the adrenaline's going to wear off of these Tampa Bay Buccaneers in this game. I still think they're going to win the game, but I think it's just going to end up being close.
Right. We forgot to say hello to people here in the chat today. We got Turner, Detroit Darcy, Paul Jones in the house, Dwayne Keene, Henry Gray. Hello, folks. Welcome. We're so glad to have you all here. Dwayne says Broncos. Turner says he's taking the Jets as well. Henry Gray agrees. He's actually taking Tampa, and so is Turner with Tampa. So we're moving right along. Thanks to everybody for following along. The next game on the docket is a battle between 2 2-0 teams. That is the Los Angeles Chargers at the Pittsburgh Steelers, -1.5. I'm definitely taking Pittsburgh here. I think Pittsburgh covers the 1.5, and they are going to go to 3-0, not the Chargers, by way of the home field advantage. Also, the Chargers, they beat a Carolina team last week, and they beat a Raiders team in their own building where they kind of took the Raiders off guard. Maybe the Raiders weren't quite gelled yet after they beat the Ravens last week. So we know the Raiders are a better team than they showed in week 1 against the Chargers. I just think the Chargers come back down to earth, and Pittsburgh is the team that goes 3-0. I'm going to take Pittsburgh -1.5.
Wow. I'm not understand. I'm frustrated here in the background, Mike, because I'm trying to get Mark Schmidt onto this show. Hey, Mark, I've sent you the link to your telephone, and I've sent the link twice to your
Messenger.
to your messenger again. So I don't know what to do other than keep sending you the links, but I can't talk to you during the show. So I hope that you can get on. So I'm not going to go and mess with any of that phone stuff anymore. Okay, I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers on this just to make it really, really fast. I think that the Steelers are a good team with Justin Fields there, and you're going to get to figure out what Justin Fields is all about. And I'm getting -1.5. That's not going to be enough. And there we go. We got Mark Schmidt in the house. That link worked right there.
So you're taking Pittsburgh.
I am taking Pittsburgh -1.5, correct? Yes.
-1.5. They have to win by more than 1.5. Henry says Pittsburgh. Paul says Pittsburgh. Turner says Pittsburgh. And Dwayne says Pittsburgh. Boy, that's really scaring me. Maybe the Chargers will go 3-0. Because, folks, everybody is usually wrong. That's why Vegas stays in business. We'll just have Mark Schmidt catch up when he gets here. Next game on the slate, the Houston Texans, 2-0. At the Minnesota Vikings, 2-0. Another battle of 2-0 teams. I think it's the Houston Texans that are going to go to 3-0. Minnesota is a home dog. They're getting 2 points in their own building. That's a bit scary, but I think this defense of Houston is really starting to come alive and really starting to take shape. And I think this is where the Vikings run into a brick wall. I'm taking Houston, and I'm going to lay the 2.5 points.
We're aligned again right here. That Houston's team, I'll tell you what, CJ Stroud is somebody you're going to have to contend with, and he's young. And yeah, give me Houston -2.
Awesome. Here we go.
He's still trying to materialize. It's like the Star Trek thing, but we're not quite as advanced as they are on Star Trek. So it takes a while for the materializing thing to happen right there. But we're experiencing some technical difficulties. We're trying
some of his particles got stuck in the transporter.
So are you doing the Giants Browns next, please?
I am, but Paul Jones thinks the Vikings are going to win by 3. Don't sleep on that Minnesota defense. Well, they're playing a pretty high-powered offense in the Houston Texans. So at least they are getting 2 points, Paul. Next game, Philadelphia at New Orleans. New Orleans 2-0. And New Orleans is -2.5. I'm sorry. But if New Orleans wins this game, it's going to be by 1 point, 2 points. I don't like the 2.5. I'm going to take Philadelphia here in this one. I'm taking the road team.
So New Orleans -2.5.
Yep. Against the Eagles.
Oh gosh, man. I think the Eagles are going to win this game, man. Like
Right.
I think that there's been some fairy dust that was sprinkled all over that New Orleans team there for a minute, and they're going to come back down to earth. So yeah, give me the Philadelphia Eagles, and you're going to give me points.
Right, 2.5. I mean, they are New Orleans is a 2.5 point favorite, and they are 2-0. So I get where that's coming. Philadelphia again seems to be not great, not well coached. I heard a rumor that Bill Belichick is just waiting in the wings for Nick Sirianni to get fired. If they lose to New Orleans, that might happen sooner rather than later. Next game, the Green Bay Packers at the Tennessee Titans -2. So the Packers getting points. I think Jordan Love is going to play, and I think the Packers are going to win the game. So I'll take the 2 points all day long. Give me the Packers. And the way that they were able to run the ball last week, even if Jordan Love doesn't play, if they can run the ball like that on Tennessee, they're going to be in good shape. I got Green Bay.
Gosh, man, I don't even know what to say, Mike. We must be thinking like one brain. You're thinking like me this week, man. Yeah, I'm not going to bet against the Packers. If they can win with Malik Willis, they can win with. I mean, this is not a good Tennessee team. And I think that Green Bay defense is the undersold thing on this team. You know, even with Jordan coming back, it's this defense. This defense looks like it's a legit defense, and Will Levis is just not doing very good this year. So yeah, give me the Packers.
Wow, Russ and I aligned on every pick, folks. In 3-4 years, this has never happened where we're aligned on so many picks right out of the gate. We've taken 5 out of 7. We've taken the road team, so there's a pattern developing here. Next one is the Chicago Bears at the Indianapolis Colts -1.5. I think this has got to be a get-right game for Indianapolis, even though that Chicago Bears defense is tough. They just let the Green Bay Packers run for 260 yards on that Indy defense. I can't see them now at home. They are not going to give up easily in this game. Indy needs a get-right game. I'm going to take Indy in this one.
I got to find Indy. We go.
Chicago at Indy.
No, Bears. Chicago at Indy. It's a get right game for. Gosh, who's that a get right game for? And who'd you take?
I took Indy.
Chicago's getting ahead.
Caleb Williams has never thrown an NFL touchdown.
Yeah. Oh God, this is tough, man. This is tough. But no, let me let Broski Bear get all happy right here. Give me the Bears and the 1.5. I think that they're going to win this game.
That's probably a good pick when you look at the Bears defense and how Green Bay was able to just run the ball all over Indy. I think between those two, the inexperience of Anthony Richardson is probably a good pick, Russ. I wouldn't have too many reservations there.
That's the hit right there, is the inexperience of Anthony Richardson, and this is going to be the best defense that he's probably faced.
Next game is the lowly Carolina Panthers with Andy Dalton under center at the Las Vegas Raiders. I really like the Raiders to win this game, but 5 is the spread. That's a lot. Andy Dalton, I know this Panthers team isn't good, and they are on the road. Maybe that's what's best for them. Their fans haven't even been showing up to the stadium. There was more fans at a WNBA game than there was at the last Carolina Panthers home game. So I'm reluctantly going to take the Carolina Panthers because I'm getting 5 points.
Damn, that's supposed to be your other team, man. I thought you were like all about the Raiders,
it's
man.
My AFC team, but I don't bet with my heart.
Oh my gosh, man. And here's one thing, and you're going to love this take. The Carolina Panthers finally have a quarterback that can see over the offensive linemen. And Andy Dalton is always good for one, come right out of the gate and kick your ass. The Carolina Panthers are going to win this game. So give me the Panthers and give me the points for, and make it fun right there.
Russ betting on the red rifle. Andy Dalton. I think the Raiders do win this game. I just don't think they cover the 5. Next.
It's the Andy Dalton show. That's right. The Red Rock is going to come and kick your ass, eat your lunch, and then he'll come back down to earth next week.
It's the red rifle.
Is it? Oh, the Red Rocket. That might be a little politically incorrect. I'm sorry, Mike.
The Red Rocket is what your dog has. In the comments, Henry says Raiders. Dwayne says Raiders. Turner says he likes that Colts pick too, and so does Dwayne and Henry. Turner going with the Packers and the Texans and the Eagles. So everybody following along, everybody paying attention today and following directions. I love that.
Next, staying with us, right. There you go.
Next game, Miami at Seattle, -4.5. Seattle Seahawks are 2-0. Miami, Tua Tagovailoa bleeding from the ears on injured reserve for out at least 4 weeks. They're going to start Skylar Thompson under quarterback. I'm sorry, Miami. But even with all your weapons, Skylar Thompson does not give me enough credit, enough confidence, and neither does 4.5 points. If this was 7.5, I might take Miami, but I'm going to have to go with the Seahawks. Those damn Seahawks. And then they will be, folks, if they win this game, they will be 3-0 coming into Ford Field on Monday night. So I'm taking the Hawks.
Gosh, man, it seems like these things are lined up real nice for that because, that isn't enough points, dude. Like when you're talking about facing, an upstart team like the Seahawks and they're all fired up and trying to get this win and you're down your quarterback, that's not the right timing for Miami. I think they're going to get blowed out in this game and Seattle's going to win going away. At 4.5 ain't enough.
Very possible. You're looking at injuries to Raheem Mostert also in the run game. They're banged up a little bit on defense as well. I think this line is probably going to move. This line will probably, by the time game time comes, this line could be at least 6. Turner's got Seattle. Paul says Seattle by 74.
Yeah. Hey, but this is the NFL, dude. It's like when you got these guys like, Tyreek Hill and Waddle, where they can just take a 5-yard slant and take it to the house. There is a chance that Miami could come in here and make Skylar Thompson look like, the second coming.
Right.
Tyreek Hill takes a little slant to the house, right? All of a sudden, oh, wow, a touchdown pass by Skylar. Like, oh, I don't know.
Right. No, you're absolutely right. And Mike McDaniel, one of the best play callers in the NFL, he could have a plan to use Skylar Thompson in a creative way that's going, because Skylar Thompson can run now. So maybe
if you can't tackle. Then
but like I said, 4.5 just isn't enough for me in this game. And
usually if you can tackle, you can beat the Dolphins. Like I want
really. Seattle to come in 3-0 to Ford Field.
Ooh.
So next game is your Detroit Lions at the Arizona Cardinals +3 points. This is a get-right game for Jared Goff. This is a get-right game for the Detroit Lions. I think this is we're going to point to this game later on in the season and say this is when we got it cooking. We got out of the gate a little slow the first 2 weeks, but we picked it up in week 3 against Arizona. Give me the lie downs, -3.
All right. So when it comes to this game right here, it's like you're looking at the matchups. You're going, wow, Kyler Murray looks really, really good this year, right? Our defense looks like it's getting a lot better. That's a good matchup right there. Now, but where we have a distinct advantage against them is not Jared Goff. It's our offensive line versus their defensive line and us being able to run the football. We should be able to run the football against this team and be able to control the clock. So I'm going to pick the Lions as well, -3. Even if it is just because I'm a homer.
Next game, out west, divisional game. The San Francisco 49ers 1-1 against the Los Angeles Rams, who are now 0-2. It'd be nice for the Rams against a division opponent and their building to get their first win, but it's not going to be. San Francisco is going to win this game by at least 10. I'm taking the Niners and laying the 7.
Wow. Niners and laying the 7 against Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford's playing in this game, isn't he?
Yeah, but no Cooper Kupp, no Puka Nacua. Beat up offensive line, a young defense. Kyle Shanahan against a young, inexperienced defense. Give me the Niners. I think the Niners win this one going away. In fact, this will probably be my lock pick.
But Matt Stafford is playing in this game, right?
Absolutely.
All right, give me the Niners.
But Matt,
Come on, dude. I set you up good on that.
yeah, it's so good that I missed it. It went over my head at first.
Oh,
Nice.
good. That's good. That's good.
All right.
I'm on point today. I'm on my game.
All the villains in the chat are picking the Niners. I'm not going to go ahead and pull that one up since it's so obvious. Now, this next...
Hey, here's Vegas, dude. I mean, I know we're all laughing right now, but here's this thing: is I'm saying is Stafford playing? You know, it doesn't mean that Stafford could be down 10 points, driving down on a meaningless drive and gets this meaningless touchdown and takes it down to 3, and all of a sudden we all lose our money. So just remember, this is the NFL.
Well, I had to start Jamarcus Robinson from the Rams on my fantasy team due to the plethora of injuries that I have on my team. So the next game on the docket. Wait, before we do that, I think we do have our special guest is here today. Ladies and gentlemen, former NFL wide receiver for the Detroit Lions. It is Mark Schmidt. Welcome to the program, Mark.
Hey guys, thank you. Listen, I ran into a technical thing this morning on my internet, so we got it worked out now. But yeah, I don't, man. Some of this technical stuff just gets a little crazy. So anyway, I apologize.
Well, we got 3 games. We got 3 games left. We got 3 games left.
I got to run to the first, whatever, 7 or 8 if you want. If you want me to just knock them off, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, we'll do that after we get through the last 3 we have. We'll have you pick on these last 3, and then I got to jump off. Russell Wayne will double back and get your picks for the rest.
Great, perfect. Thank you, guys.
And we'll get him on the review, Mike.
What's that?
We'll get him on the review after you check out. Yes, good call.
Yeah, so the next game on the docket, and the first one for you, Mark, and we'll start with you on this one, Mark, is a doozy. The 1-1 Baltimore Ravens at the 1-1 Dallas Cowboys, and the Dallas Cowboys are +1 at home. They're the home underdog by a point, so Vegas thinks the Ravens are going to win this game. I'm going to go ahead and take Dallas because Dallas is almost unbeatable at home.
Yes, Mike, I am too. I'm going with Dallas. I know I got slaughtered last week on that New Orleans game, but yeah, Dallas at home, absolutely 100%. I think Dak's got to come back. CD Lamb is obviously signed. They can't lose this game. They just can't.
I agree. It's crazy in a week 3, Dallas in a must-win situation. Russ, who you got in this one?
You guys are both crazy on this. The Baltimore Ravens are going to go in at -1, -10. Baltimore's going to wax this plastic Dallas Cowboys team, and they're 0-2 too. This is a Baltimore Ravens team that is fighting for their playoff lives right here. Give me the Ravens.
That's such a great call, Russ. When you look at the Ravens at 0-2 and the Steelers at 2-0, and the Ravens got to go to Dallas, and the Pittsburgh gets the Chargers in their own building. So that's such a great call. John Harbaugh, the Ravens, they don't want to stare 0-3 down the barrel of 0-3. They're going to be out for blood in this game. That's such a great call. I'm still sticking with my pick.
0-3.
Still sticking with my pick. All right, the Sunday night game, the Kansas City Chiefs at the Atlanta Falcons, +3.5. Kansas City 2-0, but they're winning not in real convincing fashion. And Atlanta, a tough game. This is a tough one to pick, man. I just think that half point kills it for me. I'm going to go ahead and take Atlanta plus the 3.5. Mark Schmidt, who you got? Chiefs?
Yeah, this is. I would say, Mike, that this is the toughest game of the week to play. If the viewers out there are watching this game, watching us and kind of go a little bit from what we say, I would say this is the game to stay away from because Atlanta's a good football team. They're at home, and Kansas City's Kansas City. Too tough to call. If I had to call it, I'm going to go with the home team and go with Atlanta.
Okay. Russell,
we're aligned on this one. Well, look out for the Atlanta Falcons. You're going to give me 3.5 points with the Atlanta Falcons. I think the Atlanta Falcons are going to win this game. And even if they don't win the game, it's going to be some Patrick Mahomes miraculous shit at the end of the game where he gets it, and they'll come in and win by 2 points and a field goal. that type of game. But
Harrison
Atlanta's
Butker,
for real.
Harrison Butker indoors kicks a 55-yarder to win it. I could see that actually happening.
Yeah, give me
100%.
the Falcons.
So last game on the docket is the Monday night game. It is the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are 0-2, against the Buffalo Bills, who are 2-0. Buffalo at home -5. I think Jacksonville is hungry to get right. I just don't think that they're running into the right team to make that happen. However, I do like the 5 points, and I'm going to make a surprise pick here and take Jacksonville.
Yeah, I tell you, I'm in the Buffalo area. I always mention that when Buffalo comes up here. They're playing good football right now. They're at home. Jacksonville, 0-2. I think they're better than 0-2. I'm gonna stay with you on that. I think Jacksonville's gonna play a good football game. They have to. Saw the interview last week with the quarterback, and I just think that they're due. I think that they're due to at least cover that 5 points. So I'm going with Jacksonville.
Yeah. Trevor Lawrence coming right out of the podium. Yeah, we suck. He come right out and said, I'm not paraphrasing, folks. He came right out and said, yeah, we suck.
Saw that.
Russell Wayne, Jacksonville at Buffalo, -5.
Okay. I hate that at Buffalo part right there. But it's like that 5 points. I just think this game's going to be a close game. It's going to come down. I think Buffalo wins the game. I think Buffalo could win this game, but I mean, it's another one of those games like Kansas City, where it can come down to the end and Jacksonville's winning and Josh Allen's has got to come in there and do some Josh Allen stuff and get down there close enough to win that game. So, yeah, go ahead and give me Jacksonville and the points.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So last week, Mark Schmidt, you picked 6 out of 15.
No, sorry.
Yeah. I also picked 6 out of 15.
Oh,
Russell Wayne picked 8 out of 15.
Oh, wow.
Russell
Good job,
Wayne
Russ.
comes through again. I got to jump off today, though, and I know Russell will take you through the other picks. Appreciate all the villains. Everyone have a great day.
You too, Mike.
Yeah, well, I mean, and I'm not going to brag too much off of, 8. I wanted to do a lot better than that, but I guess that is, batting better than 500, right? You got over 50%, and anything in gambling, if you can do that, then yeah, obviously, if you win more than you lose, you're going to make more money. I don't gamble. I just like picking the games against the spread and all that. But we can get back in here with the beginning of this. Let's go back up to the top here, and we're going to review. We were planning on reviewing this anyway.
Right.
What is that? Patriots Jets. That's tonight. Okay. So the Patriots getting 6 points. I'm not sure who plays at home or away here. Let me see if I can find.
Yeah, I don't have it on my sheet. I just have the two teams on here.
I'm looking over here. It's at the Jets. Okay, so looks like the home team is on the bottom of all these right there. But there you go. Patriots versus the Jets getting 6 points. What do you think?
Well, I think the Jets are gonna. I think that I'm going with New York. I just think that they're gonna hit a stride here a little bit. Rodgers got on track last week. I think that they're and New England's probably a little bit better than what what they really are. With this start that they have. So I'm going with the New York Jets on this one. I feel pretty strongly about this one. Believe it or not.
Very, very, very. Let me get into some of these comments. Oh, there's Jeffrey Addison present and accounted for. Let me go over here and show you guys this. I want to put a special thanks out to Jeffrey Addison because he helps us with this group right here, the Detroit Lions. Oh, there's that's funny. All right. The Detroit Lions main event. We got 22,000 people in this public group. Now, what's important about Jeffrey is, all of these groups that have this spam crap where they're talking about players dying in plane accidents and all that and selling bogus tickets and trying to rip people off. Jeffrey is the Mac Daddy at going through and wiping out all of those people. You're not going to get any spam in there. If there is, if it's reported, it's usually down. I mean, even within the comments, He's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Jeffrey, for being present and accounted for and being accountable to, protect the people that like the Detroit Lions and want to be here just for Detroit Lions content and, and talk with other fans that don't want to be harassed by scam artists and whatnot. So thank you. Thank you, Jeffrey Addison. Big M's got the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
Dwayne's got the Bills. And Elise, the queen of memes right there. Let's put a little shout out to her. We got the queen of memes. You can go follow Elise because she has some great stuff. You have to be a little bit smarter to understand some of the stuff that she throws out there. She's really clever with her memes. We get to highlight some of the stuff on our page, but if you want to go follow her, just follow that QR code right there. Elise, the queen of memes. And Paul, she will post them. All right. But thank you guys for keeping up and doing this. And we're going to do the review so you can make sure that you get your guys in there. But we got the Denver Broncos getting 6.5 in Tampa Bay. Who do you got, Mark?
It's a tough game. Tampa Bay is playing really good football right now. Denver has had an unbelievable preseason and it didn't transfer over. You see that sometimes. But Denver going in there, I think that they're going to. I'm going to go with the visiting team here and take the points. I think Denver will play a good football thing. I don't think Tampa is as good as that record, but it's still early in the season. I like Denver to play well. It's a good football team. They haven't hit their stride in the regular season with Bo Nix, and I like Tampa in this one. I just do.
So you like Tampa in it, but you don't like them to cover.
I like them in the game, but I don't like them to cover. It's what I'm saying. So flipping back the other way. So, but
I'm
yeah,
just writing it down for Mike. So I just want to make sure I write it down correctly. So you're taking Denver plus the points, but you think that Tampa's going to win the game. Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's
all
exactly
right. It. We got the Chargers heading into Heinz Field right there against the Pittsburgh Steelers, getting 1.5. What do you think about the Harbaughs right here going into Heinz?
Yeah. I think this is basically a pick 'em. I think the Chargers are again a good, but they're playing Steelers. It's a pick 'em. It's on the road. I don't know. This is one of the tougher games to pick. I'm going to go with the home team. I'm going with Pittsburgh on this one, Russ.
Yep. I mean, we're actually kind of aligned right here with that.
Are we?
Yeah. I mean, with what we picked, if I can remember earlier, but it's just Justin Fields. I love Mike Tomlin as a coach. He always seems to get the most out of his players, and I think Harbaugh does too. But he's just starting with this, and I love Herbert, but Pittsburgh always plays good defense. So yeah, we're aligned on that one.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good football game. I can't remember the last time the Chargers played in Pittsburgh. It seems like it's been a while. But that's a new football team, obviously with Harbaugh at the helm, and you got a marquee quarterback there. You got some young guys playing well. Ladd McConkey's playing well. A couple of the other young guys are playing well. So I think it'll be a good football game. I think it basically just becomes a pick 'em now. And how do you not take Pittsburgh at home in that game with only 1.5? I'm almost surprised that spread is as low as it is. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
All right. So next we got, and you guys, I know that we already went through these, but if you didn't get a chance to post your predictions, we're just kind of going through the first half of these again. So go ahead. Put it in writing. Put it in writing. It stays here and it stays here forever when you put those picks up. As I didn't hit any of the copyright stuff today, Mark. I'm so sick. I pay for a subscription with Canva.
Okay.
I'm supposed to be able to use that music, and they flag me every time and make me fight it, and then I win.
That's funny. I just wanted to say that. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sick of doing it. So I started today's show by doing the Beavis and Butthead. Dun, dun, dun. But
that's
anyway,
that's great. No, I just wanted to say this, Russ, because the way that because I'm relatively new to this show. I've been with you guys on a couple in the main event and so forth, but I'm new to this. The integration of the audience to the show, you guys are second to none. How you pop the audience in there constantly, and it keeps them integrated and them involved. So I just wanted to say that real quickly.
Absolutely. I mean, we serve the way we look at this, Mark, is we serve Detroit Lion fans. Like, this ain't about us. We're fans too. We just happen to have the cameras on, and we want everybody to be involved in the conversation.
Absolutely,
and yeah,
absolutely.
I don't know. I mean, I watch the games. I kind of make my own opinions from the games, rather, but I don't have experience in football other than Madden. And I learned how to read defenses and because Madden does such a good job with the the 3-3-4. I actually learned how to the concepts actually worked well after I got out of high school, and and Madden. I don't know, that's one of the good things about Madden. Is pretty realistic when it comes to at least the schemes from a basic point of view.
Oh yeah, no, with the understanding basic defenses, like what I've talked about on the show before, like with the a cover 2 man underneath coverage. It's a zone, but it's a man to man up in the first 10 yards. It's sometimes they disguise it really well. I think we used to call it a Zorro coverage back in the day. You can learn what that is. I was like, well, what is cover 2 man under? Or 3 deep, or there's a couple other, obviously, zero coverage. There's what they call a one coverage. So you can get the basic 1, 2, 3, and 4 coverages, of what they use in the NFL. And it gets a little more intricate than that on nickel. But you can, I agree with you. It's kind of cool. Fans are like, they can understand what that is. I talk to fans who are like, what does cover 2 mean? And they're good fans, so Madden does describe that really, really well.
Yeah, and when you play, and I used to play Madden competitively. Now this was like 06, 07, but I got ranked up pretty high, and you actually had to learn how the movements work. So I would study the defenses, and it would tell you with the little bubbles and everything where all the guys are supposed to go within the defenses, and then you start recognizing those. And when you watch them, you can use your little graphics pixel guy to go and pick the ball off if you can read the defenses and stuff. So it's like, I always liked that about Madden, but I know that it doesn't replace, what guys know out on the field. And, there's all kinds of little nuances in between the coverages that they change on a weekly basis, but it's fun.
They do. They do. The thing you got to realize, and I'm going to talk about greatness here for a minute, but, a lot of what they'll do with these young quarterbacks coming into the league, like some of these, some of the guys who had problems with coming into the league with Zach Wilson and so forth, all these defenses were doing was that cover 2 disguise on the man or possibly zone underneath, and they get nailed by the underneath coverage on some of the short routes where the linebacker steps in or the safety sneaks up. I mean, that gives quarterbacks fits when they're young in that league. It gave Trevor Lawrence a little bit of a problem, but he kind of overcome it. That's when you look at Mahomes or what Tom Brady does with those coverages, and they do it just second nature. It just clicks in. It's amazing, and that these guys can do it regardless of who's playing wide receiver. And that's what I'm really amazed about with Mahomes, especially losing Tyreek and having a lot of transitional players in their wide receiver core, other than Kelsey. He doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. As long as players are supposed to get to the area where they are, he'll hit you. And these guys do it so second nature. Those two particular fellas do it in so second nature. It's just unbelievable. I'll also say another guy who's really, really good at reading coverages, and it's kind of like from left field a little bit, is Baker Mayfield. He's doing it with limited arm strength. He's doing it with a limited height. He's 6 feet. He's doing it with a lot of limitations, but he is an excellent reader, and he picks up coverages extremely well. Something that I see. We try to give the fans out there a little perspective on what we see, and I've been in the league, and it's kind of throw something in there that everybody can say, oh, the great ones are the great ones. But a guy who's kind of middle of the road, maybe upper pack of the 16 quarterbacks in the league, the top half, but what he does really well with limited physical ability, and that's Baker Mayfield.
I love that call, and I'm glad that you said that, because I think that when a lot of like, I would just say average eye looking at the field is going to see a running quarterback is this exciting thing. And it is,
Mhm.
but I try to caution people on that because what 80-90% of the game is just reading the defense from the pocket, going first read, second read, third read, and then trying to get the ball out. And we get so caught up in the 15 to 20% of the game where something might break down and something exciting could happen. And it's like they're willing to trade, 85% of just a good pocket quarterback for this guy that might be able to escape when things break down during that 15%. And it's like, be careful what you wish for, because there's not a lot of guys that can read the defense, go through the progression, stand tall in the pocket, don't panic, run too early, type of thing, or the injury risk that comes with a guy that's very agile and he's trying to go out there and make plays. And that's why you see Lamar Jackson miss a couple games a year, and these running quarterbacks, you can't take hits like a running back.
No, and you make a really good point and a good example. I was just, as soon as you said Lamar Jackson, I had him on my brain. And he's a good reader. He is. But sometimes he escapes the pocket too quickly, puts him at injury risk, and that's what they've gone through a little bit. Great player, MVP type of player. But, and a good reader, not a great reader, but a good reader escapes too quickly, and it causes a problem with injuries. And that's one of the things that he's had an issue with. I don't know, that's a good football team there, but this league, man, I don't know. I don't know how you're feeling about it, but the way that this season has started, I think it's the most competitive season in the history of an early season in the NFL that I've ever seen. I mean, you got good football teams, really good football teams who are 0-2 right now. Case in point, Jacksonville. Denver's off to a bad start. That's a good football team that really put it together in the preseason, I know, but they got a young quarterback. But it's funny how it is. This is and you'd expect that, the most competitive NFL starts of a season that I've ever seen.
Yeah, I think it's a beautiful thing, because when they made the rookie salary cap, the idea behind it was to create parity throughout the NFL. And I think that you're seeing the fruits of that right now. And you can be a bottom echelon franchise and in a couple of years really just shake the tree out and start all the way over and be a competitive Super Bowl contending team.
Yeah, absolutely. Good point. And, and another case in point, watch that game on Monday night with Philadelphia and Atlanta. My gosh, everybody's having fun in Philadelphia. The picks come out. Everybody takes the Eagles. Nobody takes the Falcons. And, at one point in the pregame, they said, this is all about the birds tonight. This is all about the birds. And then one of the commentators said, well, Falcon is a bird too. They kind of just forgot about the Falcons in the entire game. And then they do their picks and they're all dancing around up there, and Kelsey's up there, the former center, and it's just it's kind of a joke and laughing, and nobody takes Atlanta. Atlanta wins a football game. So that you talk about parity.
I really like using this AI stuff right there. My brain works out pretty good. And I put in there, and I was like, I wanted to have a lion holding a cardinal in his hand, looking like he's about ready to eat it.
Yeah, exactly.
and that's what the AI came up with. And I was like, yes, I finally found a program that, start pulling this stuff from my brain a little bit, because I get some wild ideas in here. But, good talk, man. I'm glad, even though we branched off, but that's all right. I want good conversation on here. But we're on the New York Giants, the Cleveland Browns. The Giants getting 6.5. The dumpster fire known as the New York Giants getting 6.5 against that great defense in Cleveland. Who do you got?
Oh, Cleveland all the way here. This could be one of my top picks of the week. I like Cleveland in this football game. There's not a lot of points there, so Giants have some issues. They did a lot of good things. Daniel Jones actually played well last week, but they lose. If they find a way to lose, just like winning is contagious, while losing is too. And they're going to continue with this. I don't see this getting better for the New York Giants. I just don't. In Cleveland, had a loss that they probably shouldn't have had early, and I think they're going to start to run on all cylinders. And like you said, their defense is very, very sharp. So I'm going Cleveland all the way on this, Russ.
Yeah, for sure. When I look at those Giants, it's like it's really too bad because they got a really good defensive line, and it's like if you're a Giant fan out there, you got to be beside yourself. You don't think that there's good things happening in the front office, and oh god, that it reminds me of being a Lion fan during the Patricia era. It's like you got not making good decisions out there. I mean, come on, help.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
that's good. So you got the Vikings getting 2 points at home, right? Is that what we got here?
Yeah.
Are they at home? Let me look in here. Let me be sure.
Well, I got Texans are -3. According to what I'm seeing here, let me get or -2 now.
Yeah, this is I'm going from DraftKings right here. There may be different ones from different things, but the 2-0 Vikings versus the 2-0 Texans. Texans -2. It's in Minnesota.
Yeah, this is again another tough one. And the reason why these games are tough so early, Russ, is that everybody's optimistic, everybody's playing hard, everybody's got a shot. It's not like you're running into a 3-6 team. It's week 10. So I mean, everybody's playing on all cylinders early to get off to a good start. I love Houston's team. I love what C.J. Stroud is doing. On the road at Minnesota. Minnesota's playing way over their heads right now. But I'm gonna go with Houston on this game. I really am. I think they're the better football team. I know it's in Minnesota, but Minnesota also won a couple of games. I don't know if they should have, but they did pulled it off. But that's just my opinion. And I like the Houston Texans in this game. Who did you take in this game? I missed the early part of here. What did you take?
I took the Texans too. I agree with you on they're playing over their head a little bit right there. Houston to me, it's more about how good Houston's playing rather than like taking anything away from what the Vikings are doing. But I think that the Houston's a train. That's a train that's going to be rolling down this track, and they're going to be contenders in the AFC, maybe to go all the way to the Super Bowl. I really like C.J. Stroud. And the Vikings, they hit a team last week that that didn't have their best player in Christian McCaffrey out there. I don't want to take anything away from what they've done because you got to play the team they throw out there in front of you. But it is, I got Houston as well because it's only 2 points. So
right. Yeah, Minnesota. Again, what I like what you say there. It's more about Houston than it is about Minnesota. So I totally agree there. This could be one of my picks of the week here, but even though you're going with a road team, but I just really like Houston in this football game. Okay.
All right, so now we got the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Saints. Saints are playing way over their head too. So they're in New Orleans. Philadelphia is getting 2.5 points.
Yeah, I think Philadelphia's it's going to come back after that loss to Atlanta. In this game, again, New Orleans has done some things early that I didn't necessarily think reflected them as a football team. They got really lucky, and they played well at Dallas. But every ball bounced their way that game. It was unbelievable. So I'm going to go with Philadelphia on this one to bounce back from the Monday night loss to Atlanta. I really am.
I like that call. It feels like that to me with New Orleans. But in Philadelphia, they're so good on paper. It's like you're just waiting for this big explosion game to happen. And I think it's going to happen here. They'll come back down to earth. Derek Carr's not as good as he's been playing. But now we got the Green Bay Packers. In the division game right here, and they got the Titans this week. They're getting 2 points. Packers getting 2 points. I don't think they know if Love's going to play yet. So
that's the question. Yeah, that's the question. There is whether Jordan Love plays or not, because the spread doesn't necessarily reflect that of what it should be. Titans are not that great of a football team. Will Levis issues. They've had some issues, definitely, for sure. It depends on Love. It's hard to pick this game. If Love plays, I like Green Bay. If Love doesn't, it's a pick 'em. If Love doesn't play, I would go with what you're looking for an actual answer here. I'm going to go with Green Bay. I was like, shut up, Mark, and just give me an answer.
So you got the Packers in this game.
Yeah.
That is the financial answer, guys. Like this is an advantage right now. If you want to go out there, if you're into I'm not into gambling, but if you're into gambling, I would think that going out and placing a bet while this is sitting there at -2 at 10:45 a.m. with the server, go out there and place this bet before the Packers are favored by 2 instead of getting 2. So go get your points while you can get your points.
I agree.
Now we on the Bears. The Bears getting 1.5 in Indianapolis, right? Is that what we got?
Yeah.
Yep. Let's see.
Two teams that I think are going in the same direction, not necessarily always good. You got two quarterbacks. I love Minshew. I love what he's been able to do in the league as when he come from what he was expected to probably do in the league when he came in. Caleb Williams, question mark. Obviously, it's early. This game basically becomes I think a pick 'em again. It is early season, tough to pick. I'm going with Indianapolis in this game. I don't know why. That's what my gut tells me.
Now, we did disagree on this one. I took the Bears because of Anthony Richardson probably playing against the best defense that he's seen yet, and the Bears have been making their money on their defense. So if you can get Caleb Williams in there not making mistakes, I think that Indianapolis will make mistakes, and and they're giving me a bonus 1.5. So I think the Bears are going to win the game.
Yeah, Caleb Williams. That's what it comes down to. It a lot. He's been frustrated a little bit early, but it's his rookie year. So it's a long season. I don't know. I don't think that every time that people would say, "Oh, the Bears are a 10 or 11 or 12 win team," I'm like, no way. I think the Bears are a 9-win team at best. Sorry, that's just what I feel. They're a 9 and 8 team.
It's 15 wins a year, baby. We had to go through Trubisky. We went through, the Fields. Every time they got a new quarterback, oh, you guys are done. Done. Here come the Bears. And then it's like, okay. It was like the Lions for a while. I mean, who could take the Lions serious? This is a take it serious season for the Lions. Like, you need to put out, if you do it 3 years in a row and have 3 winning seasons in a row, then people can talk about you nice. But when you keep talking trash, and then
the thing is too, Russ, real quickly, not to interject too much, but at the window, I'm here in Buffalo, so we always talk about the window of opportunity to actually win it all. It's a 3 or 4 year window with free agency right now, and Buffalo's really in kind of year 5. So and they've had major injuries and they've had major overhaul financially because they were $43 million over the cap. So Detroit's maybe in their second year of really turning on. But this window is not going to stay here. You got this year and you got next year, and that's it. Then it starts going in the other direction. It just does. You can be, the best coach on the planet.
Unless, here's the determining factor when it comes with teams and sustainability is, can your general manager continue to save money under the cap on these special players, right? As long as you keep drafting well. Now, you may lose some players that you really like when it comes to their contracts. You're not going to be able to pay every single person because you've had this next man up mentality, because the Patriots did it for years. The Steelers have been doing it for decades, where you just next man out, next man up. And, that guy may not have as big of a thing. Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, and the thing I'll also say is what also transcends that 3 year window is a marquee quarterback. And that's what we're seeing in Buffalo. That's what we're seeing in Kansas City, with teams like that. Pittsburgh is a little different story. That's a whole system that really works year after year after year after year. But I think that what transcends that is just having a really, really good quarterback. I mean, we've seen it with what Mahomes has done without Tyreek there, and with a real change of the guard at wide receiver. It doesn't matter. They're still winning Super Bowls. It's unbelievable from a player standpoint. I've been in the league that they can maintain that when you lose a lot of talent who you're throwing the ball to, and that the offensive line's been really changed up on Kansas City, here and there too. So, a marquee quarterback is a quarterback-based league. That transcends that window. It does.
It sure does. And when you can stagger your contracts, that's the other thing that I believe that Brad Holmes has done. And when you are extending contracts, you are converting base salary to signing bonus, and you are able to lower cap numbers at that time. So when the Lions get into their first, hiccup year, they're going to have about $100 million in equity from the Amon-Ra St. Brown, the Jared Goff, and the Penei Sewell contract. And they won't have to do it on all of them, but, let's say you need $20 million. Well, you can restructure one of these guys and kick some of that money down the road. And the only way that doesn't work is if Penei Sewell isn't an all-pro. He is going to continue to be the best tackle in the NFL. I think that they believe that. And with that, you're able to get equity into your team. Yeah. You can extend that window. So,
yeah. I agree with that, and Holmes has done a really good job at that. And what they do is, and even Josh Allen said that they backload the contract, and so it's free up money now, and that the players get their money, but they just wait a little bit longer on it. And if you're really interested in winning, like Tom Brady was, he did it all the time and just kept winning championships. So I think Brady's the one who set the tone on backloading money. It's like, if it's good for Brady, then I guess I'll do that too. It's all about the team at that point, believe it or not, even though you're making all that money.
A lot of people give the Lions a lot of hard time about how they go about their free agents. And I think it's, you're looking for a deal, right? You're looking, and a deal comes like either injury risk or some, there's got to be some kind of thing that makes it so they don't want it, and they're willing to play for less money. It isn't just championship. So you got a guy like DJ Reader. Well, he's coming off of a quad injury. Okay, well, we can get him at a third the value. Well, once he gets better, then we're going to get a plus player for less money, because we want our core to be Aiden Hutchinson. Our core is the guys that Brad Holmes drafted. That's why we don't go spend all this big money in free agency and go get Danielle Hunter. We go get Marcus Davenport and pay him by the game.
Right. Yeah. No, it's yeah. It's a good point. One of the things that you say when you win championships, like, this is where I compare baseball and football, and they're always apples and oranges when you compare those two sports. But remember what they say, when you win a championship in baseball, it's your 6 through 9 hitters who are playing well and hitting the ball. That's how you win a championship. No different from role players. Role players, you win championship when role players are playing over their head. And like you said, you're getting more than what the money indicates. So that's definitely a big thing. You need your Hutchinsons and your superstars are there, but your middle of the road guys play well. That's how you win a championship.
Yep. Oh wait. Yeah, I have Derek Barnes and Ifeatu Melifonwu on line one, right? It's those guys are the role players you hit in the later rounds, and you got guys that can play. Malcolm Rodriguez, that guy can play. That's how you win championship. That's why the Lions are contenders right here. As we get into the Carolina Panthers right here, getting 5 points in Las Vegas against the Raiders.
Vegas all the way here. I got the Raiders. I was going to say, oh, wow, they're changing quarterback Andy Dalton, and that's great. I don't think it really matters. I think the Raiders cover this game pretty easily. So.
Oh man, I took the Red Rocket on this one. Like Red Rocket's always good for one, a pumpkin game of the year, and he'll come out and he'll kill it, and then next week he'll come back down to earth.
Well, possibly. I don't know, the 6.
I might have blown it.
It's funny. I made a pick, and I'm like, you know what? Now you're making me think. And that's what the show is about. We're supposed to be thinking and get the right call.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I may.
I know you influenced me. Well, no, you kind of did. You kind of did. You know what? I'm going to swing back, and I'm going to swing back around. I'm going to take the Panthers. Make sure you get.
Oh wow! Yeah, he likes
Yeah.
the points.
Yeah,
You see?
yeah,
You see?
yeah. And what you said about the Red Rocket, one real good game to start. Yeah, I changed my pick. I changed my pick.
There you go. So let me write that one. I hadn't written it down yet, so it's not officially. Wait a minute. Let me make sure I got. Did I write down the last one? Okay,
Which
I did.
one?
You took the Colts, and okay, now you're taking Carolina.
Yeah. 6 plus
the points. The points is. I mean, that doesn't mean that we don't think that that the Raiders could win the game. But I mean, Carolina could very well be winning this game, and then they drive down and win by 3 points. So that could happen. That could happen. And you know what? Andy Dalton can see over the offensive lineman. So that was.
What did you think? What did you think of the quarterback change in Carolina? You agree with it, or you think it was going to the second team or too quickly?
I mean, regardless of what I would think, I know that is taking a chance on destroying the confidence of the young quarterback. But you're paid to try to get the team to win, and Andy Dalton might be able to assist Bryce Young in maybe just running the offense and just taking what the defense gives to him. Because sometimes when you got these fancy guys going out there trying to make plays after it's over, it's like run the offense and and take the sack or live the fight another day, throw it into the dirt and go to the next play. So I think that the Red Rocket might be able to help him out in that way.
Yeah, I agree. Bryce Young has gone through a lot and hasn't gone well, and it gives you an indication of how a great college quarterback can't make the transition to the NFL, or at least can't do it smoothly.
So are you saying that I put Carolina on my mind?
Yeah, you did for sure. Yeah.
So now we got the Dolphins. Now the Dolphins minus the quarterback right here. Here's another one of those games you might want to go and bet once we get done before the line changes. But the Dolphins getting 4.5 points in Seattle. 2-0 Seattle, right? Are they? They're 2-0, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So who do you got there?
I've got Seattle. Miami's just too uncertain, especially without Tua. Plus, he played horribly. I can't take Miami in this game. I just can't. No.
Yeah, it's just too much with the quarterback and the uncertainty in there. But I'm not trying to change my mind because I took it. I took Seattle too. But there is always that outside chance that the backup quarterback can throw a 2-yard slant and Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle can take it to the house.
Right?
So
yeah,
there's
of
always
course.
that possibility. I just don't think it's going to happen.
I don't either.
Did you pick this game yet?
No, I did not.
Okay, so you got Seattle minus the points, which was 4.5. And now here we go. Your Detroit Lions on the road laying 3. Who do you got?
I think Detroit's due for a breakout game. The loss set them straight against Tampa. Okay, maybe we're not that great. Stop looking at your press clippings. Stop looking at Sports Illustrated, who picked them to win it all. And go play football. And this just two teams where they're just a much better football team. I don't care if you play it in the parking lot. They're just a better football team right now. And I like the Lions to cover that for sure.
Yeah, the Lions are just like where the advantage is. I mean, there are some good matchup. Kyler Murray is playing pretty good right now, but the Lions are so much better up front than their defensive line up front. We should be able to run all over these guys, and and the run game needs to get right. So it's
it does need to get right. This is the type of game to get it. I'm really surprised that this spread is not 6. Even though the road team, I know Vegas loves the home teams, maybe a little too much. They do. That's just my opinion. But I thought that was going to be a 5 or 6 point spread. I really did. 3.
Yeah, it's all right. Go get it while the getting's good. Get it while it isn't that big. So 49ers -7 in LA versus the Rams, who have like nobody left.
Like, I think San Francisco bounces back and plays really well this week. I think they cover the spread. I'm going with the 49ers.
Yeah, I took the 49ers as well, and I set Mike up pretty good with that. Tell me if we picked it. Did you pick this one? No.
Yeah.
Okay, so you did already pick the Baltimore game.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So we caught back up. Let's go into the comments right here. I'm sorry if I missed that. Oh, I love it, Russ. He's picking Cleveland, Texans, but Minnesota is a well-coached team from Big M. Big M says, "Thank you, gentlemen, for the show. Mark and Russell, have a great day and take care." And hey, Andy, meet Crosby. All right. Hey, I could be wrong on that one. I mean, I did get 8. I picked 8 games, but what are you going to do?
You did.
But hey, it's still some of these games, you don't know. So I don't know what you guys got on your list for this, but I hope that you guys enjoyed the show today. Right there, I made a little graphic for you too. Pictures with all the boys.
Right there. Awesome! I love it. Woo, my boys. Those are my boys.
You and I got to spend some time at a game. I mean,
we do.
I had so much fun. When it comes to losing football games and going to games that you lose. I mean, it does suck, but it's like the atmosphere is so cool. It gives you such a perspective of real time in the game.
Yeah,
such a good
it really does. And the fans in Detroit are terrific. They're not coarse. A lot of the Rams fans came up to us during the game. It was just a lot of fun. I love hanging out with all those guys. And you know what? If you spend any time in the league and you're partying before the game, they'll put you on the front page of the Detroit Free Press.
Nice. That's when you're moving up in the world, right?
Yeah. Thank you, Russell.
So the Villain Report, we do 7 shows a week here, and we made a little commercial right here because we are actually seeking some sponsorship now. We figured that we built enough influence with the page with our 53,000 people. We got a Facebook page. We got Joe Chap is supporting us with his 77,000 Facebook people on there. So we want to get some backing on these, and we want to be able to help businesses. So we made a little commercial right here. I wanted to play it for you before we take off.
Hey, Main Event Mike from Villain Squad Network. Here at the Villain Squad, we love football. We love football, and we love the Lions. We are a collection of artists, entertainers, and marketing professionals. And every day, we create and share fan-based content to a massive audience. That's 365 days a year. Our content generates tens of thousands of engagements, comments, and shares. We currently produce 7 live shows per week. These shows get thousands of live views, and then when the show is recorded, that recorded version gets posted to the page and is shared across multiple platforms and gets even more views. This presents a unique marketing opportunity for businesses that may want to spend some money and advertise on the internet. I'm Main Event Mike from the Villain Squad. Call me today, 810-620-2167. Leverage the power of the villain for your business and be guilty by association. One crime.
Go. There you go. Made that commercial right there. And yeah, we want to take it to the next level, guys. What did you think of that, Mark? I don't know.
I thought it was great. It was kind of a rebellious type thing. I like that the saying that they make there and so forth is really cool. And I think you guys have developed a following here, and I think it's worthy of advertising and in getting some getting some money in here and getting it on course and make it even bigger, because advertisers help you. It helps the whole process of building a show. and you make it better and better because you want to make sure that you're providing a really good service for your advertiser. And I think it's a great thing. And I love the idea of Villain Squad. I love that. Look, my daughter goes to Ole Miss, the Rebels. Okay,
Yeah.
Villain Rebels. I mean, who doesn't like that?
We're not bad guys.
I'm going with the Rebels today. I'm going with the Villains today. That's kind of cool.
We don't want. It wasn't really. We made the Villain Squad based off of. There was a press conference that they did. Over a year ago. Right after the 2022 season, where Brad Holmes came out in this villain T-shirt or a sweater that had the villain on it, and didn't really even say much about it. And I called Mike that day, and I'm like, Mike, let's become the villain crew, the villain squad, or something like that. Because Brad Holmes, I sent him a picture of it, and that's how we came up with the name. And then all that Chauncey Gardner Johnson BS happened, and then it kind of skewed our original vision of what we wanted it to be, which is like you look at these lions, look at this lion right here. He's dressed up in a suit. He's classy. He's kind of like a 1950, 1957 type of dude. I may kick your ass, but I'm also going to help your grandmother across the street with her groceries, kind of guy. Right.
Exactly. I like what the reference to 1957, the championship team. Good point. So listen, it's about growing this. It's about making it good. It's about making it better. It's about making it worthy of advertising dollars with the following. It's about interjecting your fan base into the programs with a lot of the people, which you guys do really, really well. So, is it worthy of advertising dollars? I think so. Absolutely.
And then we get to learn and help the advertiser. That's the one thing about an advertiser too, is if we want this to work. So we are going to come up with creative ways to weave your business in with what we're doing, and you got to be cool with being guilty by association here. And that's and that's kind of the, it's the tagline, but that's kind of the way that we want to do it. We don't want to say, this show is brought to you by the NFL shop where you can buy stuff. And, we want to weave you in with all the fun that we're having.
When you say guilty by association, we're doing it. We're just having fun. We're having fun. Right. We're saying things on the air that a lot of shows may not say, and that's cool. So it's all done in jest. It's all done to have fun. It's all done tongue in cheek. It's not supposed to be taken literally, but it's just nice banter. It's fun banter, and it's it's a good time, and it's 2024, so we're all grown up, so right. We're not doing anything against the grain. Okay.
It's a great opportunity, and for right now, we got NFL Shop. You can use our link that's down there, and it'll take you right to the NFL. And it's no different than going to NFL Shop. If you use our link, NFL Shop sends us $10, and it doesn't cost you any more or any less. Sometimes the link will give you 25% off. So and then we like to do good things too. Like my wife has a autism awareness page, and we're going to dedicate all of our stars. If anybody donates stars to this, whatever the stars are, we don't you can get stars and you can give stars, and somehow that gives us money. But my wife has her Facebook page is dedicated to sharing resources. I have a 5-year-old autistic son, and sharing resources of people that have children with special needs. She's constantly seeking this stuff out. She's really awesome at it. So that's what the STARS program is going to do for us. We found a purpose for it. So we want to do something good. 100% of it's going to go to helping her page, provide more autism information for autistic families. So, but you can be selfish with your business though, too. We'll promote your business too. Whatever it is, we'll weave it in. But this is the Lion Villain Report. We got Mark Schmidt coming in every Thursday. He's going to do the lock picks with us. And every Monday night, Mike is in here doing the main event football show, where he's going to do the preview and the review of last week's game. Tell us how bad we were at making our picks from the week before. And then I'm here every single morning. I do the The Villain Report every morning at 10 a.m. PFF Tuesdays. I got the Hump Day review or preview on Wednesday. Friday, we get into where we're really scared about the weekend, getting antsy for the weekend. And I even do a show on Saturday too. Why not? I talk football all the time. And then we're going to be broadcasting the game live with the Villain Cast. So Mike and I will be in here making our comments and reacting to the game live. We tried to get away with showing it, but they kicked us off of the YouTube stream for showing the game last week. But we tried, okay? We're willing to risk our page for you.
Because we're villains.
Because we're the villains. We're like Robin Hood. We steal from the rich to give to the poor, whatever. But we'll be able to call the game. And you're more than welcome to pop on any of those casts. We're just hanging out and watching the game and reacting to it and all that good stuff right here.
Awesome.
But so there's our Facebook page right there, 53,000 people. Make sure you follow the page. Make sure you go to the YouTube page and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And it's faith, family, and football around here, guys. Faith, family, and then football. We use football to spend time with our family, to create memories. We don't let football use us. And may the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord shine his face upon you until we meet again. And that's going to be tomorrow for the Villain Report. God bless you guys. See you tomorrow.